Neverending Chain by Dragon Translator. Chapter 63, Sick Day. Hiccup looked up from his work table in the smithy. Normally, only really loud noises penetrated the sound of the forge. A sneeze right beyond the roof posts seemed to qualify. Hawk sniffled, waved at Hiccup, and moved on. Just as he came even with heading down the next level, Hawk sneezed again. Hiccup frowned. While winter tended to unleash many sicknesses, Hiccup just hoped it was not eelpox. It had been 2 years since the dreaded illness swept through the archipelago, but Johann, back on Berg after 3 weeks being away, warned of the ailment hitting the meathead tribe hard as he ate evening meal the night before. In response, Stoic had bargained with Johann to ferry some of Gothi's eelpox remedy to the meatheads. That bargain had been the reason Hiccup got up early, long before Gobber usually did. He, Toothless and Sharpshot had the forge blazing in the pre-sunrise dimness. Hiccup knew Gothi would probably ask the riders for help in getting the ingredients from Gila Island, as dragonflight was faster than the same trip by boat. Johann would not be in port long, and Stoic wanted the remedy ready to leave with him. Like Shivering Shores, the meatheads had been a long-standing ally. Stoic also knew that any goodwill now would benefit Birkin come springtime. Still, there was an item in the smithy that required a bit more work to be finished properly. 2 weeks prior to the Speed Stinger's invading, Brynja had requested a Gronkle iron hatchet for Torgir. The lad would soon go with his father into the woods and learn to be a woodcutter. Hiccup had insisted on taking that order, and Gobber had merely smiled. Now Hiccup wanted to finish it before he and the others had to leave the island for Gothi. Hiccup heard Hawk sneeze again. Hiccup sighed and returned back to the hatchet. "I have Gothi's list," Astrid said, as she, Stormfly, Windwalker and Sneaky walked into the arena's entrance. "Mount up," Hiccup ordered, hoping to get out and off the island before his rather sick father came to see them off. Hawk had been the first, but by the time Gothi was able to write down the ingredients, 10 more Berkians became ill, including Stoic. Johann, for his own safety, stayed in his ship, though he promised Hiccup that he would remain so he could ferry the remedy as he had given his word to do so. Hiccup climbed onto Toothless, and soon all the riders were out of the arena and into the air. Hiccup looked back, seeing a sick Brynja persuade Stoic back into the Great Hall. Hiccup smiled, grateful for his future father-in-law. They landed on Gila Island, a neutral island belonging to all the archipelago. Since they had the advantage of flight, they got here before any elders from any other tribe. Hiccup was thankful for that. The thing still weighed upon his mind. He did not need Vikings from other tribes showing up and picking a fight with the dragons. He and his father wanted to avoid conflict with the other tribes right now. They did not want to feed any thoughts of them using the dragons aggressively. "Okay, gang," Hiccup said, taking the piece of wood Gothi had etched her ingredient list upon. "We'd probably get the ingredients faster if we split up. Snotlout, you and the Nightmares find buckthorn root. We need a basketful. It needs to be lightly roasted, so Hookfang, Wingblaze, think you two could handle that?" "Of course, my alpha," Wingblaze said, bowing. "I'll make sure they do everything right."
"Hey now," Hookfang protested. "I always act right."
"Sure, my love," Wingblaze said. "It was some other flameskin that burst Snotlout's father's father."
Hookfang snorted. "Old Male had that coming, though. Speaking bad about Alpha like that."
"Hookfang,"
Hiccup began, "no matter what he says, don't antagonize him. Ignoring him will irritate him more than if you keep bothering him." "Really?" "Grandpa hates to be ignored, Huggy," Snotlout said, looking to Hiccup. "I didn't know he was still speaking bad about you, cousin." Hiccup shrugged. "You're not responsible for him, Snotlout. Go on and get that root." Snotlout nodded. After Hookfang and Wingblaze bowed to Hiccup, Snotlout and the Nightmares headed off to the beach they landed upon. Hiccup turned to Fishlegs and the Gronkles. "We need a lot of rock blossoms," he said. Fishlegs beamed. "We'll handle those, Hiccup." They left before Hiccup had a chance to reply, though not before Meatlug and Boulder had a moment about a Hiccup.
Hiccup just shook his head. He still felt uncomfortable with the dragons bowing to him all the time.
Astrid, can you and Gerda get a basket full of goatweed?
Sure, Hiccup, Astrid said. Hiccup sighed as Stormfly, Windwalker, Sneaky and Shadowfire bowed to him. He turned to the twins and the zipplebags.
We need a basket full of wild dagger plant. Gothi's list says it grows on cliff faces, so it'll probably be a bit dangerous to gather.
Oh! Ruff said, her eyes widening.
You do know us,
Tuff exclaimed, smiling. The zipplebags bowed, though Boff and Belch were careful not to unseat their riders, before flying off towards the cliffs on the north side of the island. Hiccup sighed again. He turned to Moondust, who had joined them on the trip.
The last ingredient is one I don't think any of you will like to deal with, he began. We have to get a bloodbane eel.
Hiccup felt Toothless and Sharpshot shudder, and even as Moondust hissed and recoiled.
I know, Hiccup said, but we have to get it. Toothless, you're fast. You and I can get that eel before the others truly get finished. Moondust, Sharpshot, if you want, you can join any of the others and help them.
Sharpshot grunted. I am not leaving my brothers, he stated. Moondust tilted her head. I will go with you, if I may, my Alpha. Sure, Hiccup said, smiling, happy for the company. The flight to Eel Island did not take long. It lay an hour's boat ride north of Healer Island. To a dragon, that distance was covered in 3 wing flaps. 2 and the dragon in question were Night Furies. They landed in a wide expanse of grass. The tall stalks danced in the wind, and a river bubbled through the middle of the expanse. Hiccup dismounted and gestured. Toothless rose on his hind legs. Fishlegs heard Meatlug gasp. What is that shiny thing? She asked as Hiccup removed his shield from the holder he had installed on Toothless's flying rig. Hiccup held it up.
It's my shield. It keeps me safe if a human tries to attack me, and since it's made of Gronkle iron, it seems to stand up to some dragon fire.
Moondust looked to Toothless's tail fin, and then back to the shield. I don't think Elder Gita is the only major within the nest, my Alpha. These things you have created. Her voice trailed off, and she shook her head. I have no words to describe the awe I feel.
Hiccup smiled slightly and rubbed the back of his neck. Come on, let's get the eel and get back.
End of chapter. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed this one. So the eel pox little arc. After COVID, I don't want to read this, but it's part of what we have to do. Anyway, yes, I like that Moondust has come along for it. And I like that he assigns them each something he knows they'll be good at. Like the bit of the twins getting it from the rock sides where it'll be dangerous. The rock blossoms for fish legs, and the stuff that needs to be roasted to the, the nightmares. That's nice. Anyway, you guys know the drill. Like, comment and subscribe, and hit that bell to get notified for I never upload a new video. Have a good day, night, or whatever time zone you're in. Bye my guys, gals, and albino pals. I'll see you in another video. Take care.